We're a firm that was started by my father in 1969. It's primarily, like a lot of Memphis firms at that time, was municipal based, strongly in the fixed income, but 99% of the business municipal. We have since grown into more of a full service firm, still heavy on the fixed income side, but also have an institutional equities department. But still our center is, and our core is, the fixed income business. I returned back to Memphis in '93 and started working at the firm after my father passed away in 1989, and I spent a few years at another broker-dealer. So when I got back, we were still around 50 employees. I knew I had a lot of growing up to do, and really spent more time learning about the firm and what was going on, learning about the people in the firm, and really developing the culture of the firm from where we were from the time my father passed. Until 2000, I became president. At that time, I knew I actually wanted to grow it. It was a matter of how to do it. We continue to kind of modify that on a daily basis, really, but we've grown now to 180 people, employees, with 11 branches around the country, and we continue to see that grow. We will continue to be fixed income players. I mean, that's our core, that's the heart of what Duncan Williams is. Yes, we're going to be in the equity side. We think that's important to be full service. We see the private client group as a hugely important growth aspect of us going forward. Also public finance, we'll continue to grow public finance, not only in the Southeast, but really nationally. The asset management side, to me, is really part of the private client group. So whether it be transactional business or whether it be bringing in the assets to manage, it will be the more individual-based business. I think over the years we've had opportunities to become affiliated with commercial banks, not necessarily from us going out to buy a commercial bank, but more from commercial banks approaching us to join them. It's really not an interest of mine. I mean, I think we are Duncan Williams, Inc., which is a private, employee, family-owned firm, which is important to me, and I want to stay that way. I think there's obviously benefits to being under a bank, and it's called the balance sheet, and so we know that's there. But I think in this time and age, there's also benefits of not being with a bank, and that pretty much says what it is. A lot of people right now aren't as trusting of the bank model as they may be in times past. And I also think it's harder for a lot of banks to understand our business. And so we have people here who understand our business, and we don't have to deal with really the bank boards who sometimes don't understand our business. After my father passed away in '89, my mom became chairman of the firm, and as ownership transferred to her, obviously we became a woman-owned business. It is not something that we really went out and pursued on a very active basis until the last few years. There's obviously advantages to that, i.e. as the world has changed, there's more of a need, if you want to say the woman-owned or minority businesses. It gives us the opportunity to maybe open up some doors that we wouldn't as a Memphis-based regional broker-dealer. It just lets us get more of the national picture and get in front of people. The important part of the woman-owned business is we're a working firm and we want to prove ourselves. So our biggest thing is let us kick the door open, but at the same time give us a chance to prove we can do anything any other firm can do. Well, Memphis to me is outside, if you want to say New York and maybe Chicago. Memphis is really the fixed income hotbed of the country. I mean, there is a ton of fixed income business that has been done here over the years and continues to be done here with great firms. Atlanta is the city of the South, if you want to say. So it makes sense that we have a presence there and we continue to grow that presence. We consider the state of Tennessee hugely important to us. So Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Birmingham's another city that we think is extremely important. We want to be a name in all the major cities in the Southeast for sure, because that's where we're home and that's what we're comfortable with. The reason Memphis is like I said, one of the hotbeds, I think, of the fixed income business. It started, 40 years ago. First National Bank, which is now First Tennessee, was really one of the first banks to be involved in the municipal bond business. As the South continued to grow, as they needed the infrastructure, the only way to do that is through municipal bonds. They became a very profitable business line. You had over 50 firms in Memphis alone in 1969 that just did municipal bonds. The thing to remember about that is they were sold out of the trunk of the car. They were the bearer bonds. So times have changed a lot since then, and really because of regulation, whether it be state or national, they move to different states and or different cities, and it's still a completely different business. But now Memphis especially is hugely involved in the mortgage business. With all the mortgage stuff that happens in the country, Memphis has its hands in a great percentage of that, that happens. 2011 will be probably a slower year as far as growth in some ways. Obviously, when everything happened in the last few years, there were a lot of very talented people out there looking for jobs. So, you could ramp up pretty quickly. Now it's a matter of going out and finding the people who fit into our culture. And that's really the most important thing about growth to us. It's not a number. It's finding people who believe in what we believe in, who understand our model, and who want to be around that type, because it is definitely a different type of firm than the majority of firms that are out there. We are hiring. We're aggressively hiring. We're aggressively looking for firms, individuals, groups, I mean, you name it, and we're out there talking to them.